Actually, got quite a bit of Spider-Man stuff to go over. As you know, yesterday they dropped the new trailer, and of course, they did not put Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire in the trailer, even though we know they're coming to the movie. We did get to see Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, Lizard. I think we have 6 villains almost. Green Goblin, Sandman, Lizard, Electro, Doc Ock. I'm missing somebody. Probably Vulture and Mysterio, right? That would be 6. We shall see what they're going to do there. But here's the interesting thing. And this Green Goblin, this looks off, but here's the interesting thing. It looks like they did scrub them from the trailer. Like, so if you look at this, there's a scene where you can see Tom Holland. He would be jumping right here. Sandman's right here. So that's obviously who Tom Holland is jumping towards. But watch this. This is what some people found. Something invisible punches the Lizard right there. That's them digitally erasing probably either Tobey or Andrew. So they probably punched one of them. Obviously, Electro is flying towards somebody. There's 3 villains here, 3 Spider-Men jumping towards the 3 of them. But they've erased them from the trailer. Now, I don't know why they just don't come out and say that these characters are in the movie, because that would get people even more hyped. But in a way, it might be kind of smart to do this because, for one, people are already going to go see this movie anyway. But when people come out and say they're in the movie, right, that might help out week 2 a lot, which you've been seeing a lot of movies have drop-offs over the past couple of months. Big drop-offs the second week. This actually would probably help the second week a lot. So we'll see. But that's not the only news going on. Tom Holland says that he might need to step down so that Miles Morales can step up, saying that, well, I need to step down. If I'm still doing Spider-Man by the time I'm 30, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know why. Like, these are the only way you can get big paydays in Hollywood now. It's through a franchise. You can't get it based on your name. Like, once Tom Holland leaves Spider-Man, that's it. Like, he has no star power. Star power is gone in Hollywood. Okay? This was proven with Robert Downey Jr. when he went from Iron Man to Doolittle. Now, 2 decades ago, when you had people like Arnold and Stallone, right, they could go from a movie to another movie, and people would go see that movie because of them. For all intents and purposes, Iron Man was the biggest thing out there. So Robert Downey Jr.'s star power, especially coming off of Endgame, right, because they came out not that far apart. Doolittle should have been huge, but Doolittle was a flop. Star power, that doesn't exist anymore. That's what's funny about Hollywood. So what do? They have to virtue signal all the time to kind of stay relevant. So like him leaving Spider-Man, that'll be it for him. There'll be no paydays for him after that. But anyway, like he's saying and doing a little virtue signaling himself. He says, Holland suggested that they move on to Miles Morales, saying maybe it's time for me to move on. Maybe what's best for Spider-Man is they do a Miles Morales film. Well, first off, they've already done a Miles Morales film. Okay. And it was very successful. In fact, I thought it was quite a good movie. Why can't they do both? Like, I'm serious. They could do both. You could do a Miles film and a Peter Parker film. And here's the thing. In some ways, the Miles film might be better because if they're smart, they would make it another universe and they wouldn't, now that they have the multiverse going on, they would just do their own thing and not connect it to all of this MCU nonsense. That's what Sony should do. They should do it like they've done with Venom in that Morbius movie that's coming out and just make it its own thing. And in a lot of ways, that would probably be a better way to do the movie. Like, there's no reason they can't do that. I'm not a Miles Morales hater. But, like, it seems like stupid to me to kill off Peter Parker when you can just do both. What they're likely going to do, even though they haven't done this yet, is recast him at some point because Sony has all of the power when it comes to Spider-Man. But he continues and says, if I'm playing Spider-Man after I'm 30, I've done something wrong. Then he continues to say, if we're lucky enough to dive into these characters again, you'd be seeing a different version. It would no longer be the Homecoming trilogy. We would give it some time to try to build something different and totally change the films. This is something that he said in October to Entertainment Weekly. But I don't know if that's the answer. So I think that's kind of a weird thing to say right before this movie comes up. But of course, they're always trying to push Miles in some ways. I think, like I said, the best way to do that would be to first off to just continue the Spider-Verse movies because those have been awesome. But if you really want to do a live action one, just do your own thing with it. Even though I think they are eventually going to kill Peter Parker and they'll just bring in Miles like they did in the comics back in the day. Though now they exist side by side, which is really weird because they're both called Spider-Man. But check this out. Here's some cringe. This is cringy. And it's like, I said on Twitter, I said, I like Miles, but this is super cringe. They're doing What If Miles Morales. So they're going to do like a limited series where basically he's every hero. They have a Miles Morales Captain America, Miles Morales Wolverine. That's one that's coming up. Like, What If used to be so much more creative. They have Miles Morales Hulk. This is cringy. Like, stop it. This is going to make people not like the character. And so far, this has been the one new character that they've been pretty successful with. Like, people don't mind Miles. I think he's an okay character. They've fleshed him out more. And in some ways, he's kind of somewhat... Well, he used to be his own thing, and then they brought him over to the MCU, and now he's like Spider-Man's sidekick. He used to be his own thing, but now they're doing this, and it's just like, this is cringe, dude. Just stop it. Stop. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing here? But of course, Marvel Comics is nothing but cringe lately anyway, so I guess this is part of the course for them, right? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this stuff. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out.